So good morning, everyone. And this first morning, I would like to mention, talk about faith. There's a confidence, because first of all, you must have confidence, isn't it? In the practice, in the teacher, in the teaching. Without that, whatever you do, and then it's because faith also is one of the very important factors. It's the first 5 spiritual faculties is faith, because it's helped you to overcome doubt. If not constantly when you meditate, maybe this, maybe after a while, I think I better not to practice anapanasati. Okay, maybe metta. After metta, maybe not metta. Then your mind is just because you have no confidence at all, you have no faith at all, and especially So you start off with faith in the teacher, but of course it's good to have faith in the teacher. But also faith itself, you also have to have the wisdom, because without wisdom, sometimes without wisdom, sometimes if the teacher is not genuine, and also they are not whether teaching the right path or not the right path, you don't know. That's what the Buddha's mentioned in this Anguttara Nikaya. The Buddha mentioned about the 4 powers. So first the first one is the power of wisdom. So power of wisdom, that you have the ability, you be able to distinguish, you use your own discretion whether this is a path or this is not, whether this is the true Dharma or not true Dharma. Because it's very easily people just have this blind faith just because you like the teacher, or this teacher is very charming, based on the attachment, and then it's just blind, the kind of blind faith. Then have no wisdom. I know I know one of the monks, he's still teaching on, in YouTube or something like that. So it just shocked me that, because he got quite a bit of followers. I said, you only follow my way of teaching. I can teach you. I teach you. It's like you don't even have to keep precepts. You can drink, you can do whatever. But I think some people still follow, because people think that this is easy way. You can indulge in the sensory pleasure. You can do whatever you like, and But actually, we have to use our own discretion. Is it make sense? Is it you indulge in the sensory pleasure? If you're not virtuous, is it can you become peaceful? Isn't it? We know for ourselves. If we have even done something, even sometimes we have an argument. Later you can't even see it, isn't it? Let alone that your virtue is not purified. And because sometimes people just think of easy way out, shortcut, then but without really using, use your own discretion to, whether it is true, or whether this is a true Dharma or not the true Dharma, whether it's a path or not it's a path, that is important, because the kind of like blind faith, it's good to have faith in the teacher, because sometimes it's so important, you get inspiration, because I know some great master, that not all that teach, some of them don't teach, but just be with the present, they have so much good energy, they give you feel so much peace, you feel at ease, you can feel the energy is so powerful, because it's come from the person practice. They said for me, the most powerful teaching is teaching by example. It's how the person practice, how the person live their life. It's not what the person said. I know some people even, people can talk beautifully, people can talk the walks so well, but the person may not be able to walk the talk, That's why it's important that, that's the kind of practice that really inspire you is not what the teacher said. You look at the teacher behavior, look at the teacher, conduct, then you know whether this, but as the Buddha said, sometimes you take times to know someone, Because from outside you can't tell, people can cover up. So you have to check it out. You have to check the teacher out. You can check it out. So if you want to check me out, then you come to the nuns monastery and stay and see how I'm like. Maybe I'll behave differently. Maybe in front of you. That you have to check someone out. Not like just blindly. Just because you sometimes. Sometimes it's just a karma or what karmic thing. Sometimes it's just naturally, you just like someone, isn't it? Then no, that's why it's important. That's why the Buddha said, this is the power of wisdom. If you have the power of wisdom, you will have the ability to be able to differentiate whether this is Dharma or not Dharma, or that this is a path or not a path. If not, very easily, like Angulimala, he is because of his teacher. That's why he become a severe killer, because he follow a teacher. Also, I come from his previous karma, action. That's why sometimes in this life, he follow a teacher that leads him, but luckily later he followed Buddha, he followed the right teacher. That's why sometimes it's important that we always we always leave it open, but sometimes people tend to that they swing from one end to another. Like we don't simply believe nor simply not believe. Somehow, I just don't believe. We have people like this, wherever I say, I don't believe. Even maybe, yes or no, I leave it open, but then you use your own wisdom, you investigate, and whether is it in line, is it really, to investigate, whether it's good to benefit you, is it it leads you to more wholesome state of mind, and then decrease unwholesome state of mind, and then you have to use that. That's like, but it's good to have that confidence. If not, you can't really practice, isn't it? You have no confidence. It's different, isn't it? When you inspire, when you have confidence, you feel that you feel energy, isn't it? And you feel happy, isn't it? When you have the inspiration, you feel so happy, you feel so inspired, and you have so much energy. And then your mind is, when you have energy, how do you feel? Alert, isn't it? You feel bright. And that also helps your mindfulness also becomes strong. That's why it's so important, that faith. Of course, faith in the teaching. That's why also we know the teaching, whether this teacher is teaching, is it the true Dharma? It's not the true Dharma. Like this, like the teacher said, because like this one said, because of you don't have to keep precept. You can drink alcohol, you can do whatever, drugs or whatever. But you just follow my method is special. I remember. When I was in Malaysia, I heard my friend say his father passed away. He said, the one who performed the service. I don't know what they call this. They are not monk. They are not any Zen master or whatever. They're just more like a funeral director. They just perform the service. They say, your father is now reborn in hell. Then if you give more money, I will perform a ceremony, and then I can rescue your father. I was thinking, wow, it's more powerful than the Buddha. According to your karma, the Buddha also cannot save you, isn't it? According to your karma, where you going to reborn? The Buddha said, no, I can save you. You reborn in a better. It's not even the Buddha don't have the power, and this man is really more powerful. But people still believe. People still say, okay, maybe that they're just okay. At least I can do whatever, and that's kind of it's important whether you be able to use your own discretion to know whether this is the true teaching or not the true teaching. It's important, because without the wisdom, sometimes really, you can be quite misleading, and then we like Angulimala, he gone into the the wrong path, and then right, instead of you're heading the right direction, actually completely opposite direction. They said sometimes you have to check. They said the Buddha's one of the way to check whether you have any progress. You see your wholesome state of mind increase, your unwholesome state of mind decrease. The Buddha said, okay, you're having progress. You're heading the right direction. That's why we have to be able to use our own wisdom to distinguish what is not. And then another one is the power of virtue. Something is so important, the power of virtue. The power of virtue, that is our conduct. Because when someone is virtuous, and is naturally, you have non-remorse. You feel good, isn't it? When you have non-remorse, you have non-remorse. Naturally, you feel glad. You have gladness. You feel good about yourself. You know that you keep your precept. I remember one time when I was doing my retreat. Then I was a bit. Sometimes you try hard. It's still quite normal at the beginning. You try very hard and sitting too long and really. I learned the hard way. After that, I learned to let go more and more relaxed now. At the beginning, very, how you have the idea of, how a monastic should be, I remember when I was Anagarika, and to me, it's like, I'm going to become a nun. Then I even refused to wear sunglasses. Because it's not nun-like, with sunglasses. Of course, in Australia, it's so glaring, I remember once I drove Ajahn Hasapanna, and then the sunlight is just right in front of my eyes. I can't see. I drove over the other side. Luckily, no car coming from the other side. And Ajahn Hasapanna asked me, what happened to you? I can't see. Then I realized actually it's really very dangerous. Then later I learned the hard way. I wear glasses, and that's how that sometimes you have all this idea, you have fixed views, about what is, and then sometimes we hold on to our ideas, the practice, should be this way, that way, and it's all our ideas, but I learned, the hard way, that's why it's very naturally, when you learn we learn from our mistake, and that's why this power of virtue is important, because when you know that you have not done anything, causes anyone's hurts or harm, naturally you feel good about yourself, and then you have naturally you have the gladness, and then when you have the gladness, then you have the rapture, you have the rapture, piti sukha. You feel that give you the energy, the happiness, lots of energy, and then that also your mind, because the Buddha called this is a wholesome happiness. When it's a wholesome happiness, that happiness comes from like virtue, you're doing something good, and that leads you to peace and calm. Then you have the tranquility of the body and mind. So when your body is tranquil and and the body and mind is so tranquil, you have the tranquility of body and mind, and then you have the happiness. When you have the happiness, your mind becomes still. That's like only the one who is happy can do it. Because imagine if you're so miserable, you think you can practice, isn't it? You're so worried, and then your mind is just so, you can't even focus. We can only focus, our mindfulness only become powerful when we have lots of energy. Because it's naturally, because the energy itself, is the alertness. The alertness, that is the mindfulness, becomes, your mind is bright. So your mindfulness is really strong. And then you have more clarity, Then when that, you be able not so easily to get distracted, because when our mind is not strong, we very easily get distracted, isn't it? Very difficult to become still. And naturally, so not to underestimate, the power of virtue. That's why it's important that, we reflect on that virtue. I remember that when I reflect on that, when sitting there and then, someone trying too hard, and then the moment when I reflect, on my own virtue, at that time I'm still anagaragas, keeping 8 precepts. Then I reflect, the first, I haven't done anything, causes anyone hurt or harm. Yeah, and then the second one, the third, and then slowly when I reflect each of the precepts that I be able to keep, and give me so much joy and happiness, and you feel inspired. That is actually, this is very good. We our own. We inspire ourselves through our own good conduct, our behavior. Our own virtue, and that takes you a long way, because this no one can take it from you, isn't it? Your own virtue, you keep it, and you know that you have done this. You're so inspired. Then I have energy again. I can continue. And I remember one time also the same, and I was in Thailand, and that is a bit. One day I was sitting, because that time I'm only by myself there, and I think some of you have stayed at Papanacha, the women's section, but I stay in the furthest kuti, furthest kuti that is near the ash wall. I think someone might know. I don't know whether it's 20 over years ago. I don't know whether the kuti still exists. Maybe it's gone. They're closest to the wall, and then it just, the kuti itself very simple. It's just like they don't have windows, so you have to open one side of the wall. If not, you can't breathe. It's very stuffy, so you open up. So then it's just almost like you're sleeping, because you open up the wall. It's like you're just sleeping on like a platform only. And sometimes when raining, sometimes you can feel when it's heavy rain, because when I sleep, my head inside, my foot facing outside. If people stand there, even people go close by, can pull my leg, And then sometimes when heavy rains, even I've got wet, a little bit, not too much, like having a little bit of shower. And sometimes I meditate, sit there, and sometimes you have just kind of eerie feelings, Certainly, I feel that, and then I said, that moment, like fear, the fear comes up, that arousing me, like having fear. And then suddenly I just stopped. I said, why I'm having fear? And then I said that, and then I started to ask myself, I haven't done anything harming anyone and causes anyone hurt or harm. Why should other people want to harm me? Why other beings want to harm me? Actually, the moment when I think like that, then the fear is gone. It's just like, certainly if I feel good, I feel, who is going to harm me? No one. Actually, sometimes I realize that sometimes human beings is more dangerous than all those beings, isn't it? All those beings. And then I subside, just okay. The fear just disappear, just subside. That's why this is the power of virtue. If you being a virtuous person, you being always, kind, and then you're not harming anyone. It's give you, so you become very peaceful easily, and also easy to meditate. People said that, I just want to learn to meditate. If you don't have this quality, it's very difficult. People think that, by meditating, I'm used enough willpower to focus on the breath, then I can make myself peaceful. People try to make themselves peaceful. You can't. The peace comes from your is natural process, come from your letting go, come from your letting go of harming, letting go of doing something that is unskillful, letting go of violent, letting go of attached to to things, because when you attach to things, how do you feel? You constantly think about it, isn't it? Think about how to get it, isn't it? Then you don't have peace of mind. When your craving is very strong, you always crave for things constantly. Do you have peace of mind? Never peaceful, isn't it? Only when you let go, you're peaceful. The moment you let go, you're peaceful. I know someone very attached to the hair, and for a long time wanted to do a novice shape program, but because of cannot let go of the hair, so not doing it. And then eventually that day she will, she finally decide, I'm going to do this novice program. Then she let go. And then she told me that she had very wonderful experience while she was doing shaving. This is the first time ever in her life she experienced a kind of peace, inner peace and happiness she never experienced before. Then she said, why? She asked me why. I said, because the thing that you most attached to, you let go, That's why you let go the moment you shave, because you're already ready, you let go, and that is you free yourself, and that is a taste of freedom. You taste that is, when you're holding on to the crave for things, it's very difficult, isn't it? It's very difficult to let go. And sometimes also, if we are craving so strong, desire so strong, we want things so much, sometimes even on the expense of others, then we do things that harming others. When we harm others, eventually we harm ourselves, and we don't feel good. That's why it's very difficult. That's why it's so important not to underestimate the power of virtue, of our own our own virtue. That's why sometimes you reflect on that, also give you the inspiration, give you the confidence in your practice. And if we don't have confidence, that's it. Most importantly, yes, they have confidence in teacher in the teaching, but if you don't have confidence in yourself, it's also very difficult to practice, because not me. And I think someone only special beings, I'm not like the Buddha, or I cannot, it's only those special beings. No, they said, the Buddha said, each one of us, we have the potential to get enlightened, but we just have to fully make use of it. It's not only that, the Buddhas can get enlightened. The Buddhas also is a normal human being. It's just because of many years of practice, because of his practice, because he developed those qualities, then we too be able, to develop those qualities. They say, sometimes they will say, why you bow to the Buddha? And then they think that we worship the statue. Actually, when we bow to the Buddha, actually we are not only bowing to the Buddha, because when we bow to the Buddha, we reflect on those Buddha's quality, and then we also aspire that, that I have to aspire to have those Buddha's quality, kindness, compassion, wisdom. And then when we bow to the Buddha, we also bow to ourselves. We also respect ourselves. I'm also worthy of respect. I'm also have the quality. And because if you don't believe yourself that you'll be able to do it, you will never ever, do it. And the Buddha also said that. The Buddha said that if my teaching that will not help you, to get enlightened, if it's not possible for you to get enlightened, I will not teach. Why I'm going to teach you, isn't it? Anyway, you're not going to get enlightened no matter how hard you practice. No, we all have that. That's why it's important. If you don't have the confidence in yourself, and then you will not keep going. Little while you give up very easily. But then when you have these qualities, you have the qualities, you have the power of wisdom, power of virtue, then really keep you going, and you can go deep, you can go further, because without the confidence in yourself, very easily you give up, And then another power is the power of energy, because this gives you the energy to be able, to have the energy to abandon your unwholesome qualities. So when unwholesome qualities, when any unwholesome thoughts arises, then you have the energy to say no to those, to pay attention, to get involved, to feed that unwholesome thoughts, because sometimes, for example, if we have no energy, even though yes, we're aware of that, this is not something that is wholesome, this is something that is unwholesome, but we still easily get drawn in, isn't it? Get drawn in, and because of your mental energy is not strong, you're not unable to say no to things that is to those unwholesome thoughts, because your mind is not powerful enough. You don't have the energy, not powerful enough to say no. And sometimes that somehow because the defilement is greater than our our mind, so we get sucked in again, and that's why they say you be able to say no, and then we be able to really develop more wholesome qualities. That's why the Buddha said that is unwholesome. That the Buddha said this is not a wise attention. If we pay attention to those unwholesome qualities, we develop those qualities. Those are unwholesome qualities. So the Buddha said, always said the wise attention, pay attention to those who, good qualities, the wholesome qualities that lead you, like thinking of kindness, compassion, thinking of what I can give, what I can be of service. And this is wholesome qualities, because if you think of that, this is also a way of letting go. You can only become peaceful when come from the letting go. It's not come from come from wanting, I want to be peaceful. You cannot. If you want to become peaceful, you will never be peaceful, because it's come from wanting to get it. The moment you want, your mind moves. It's very difficult to become peaceful, because your mind being stirred up, and then especially indulge in sensual pleasure. That is the excitement, Then you indulge, and then you want more and more excitement. It never ends, and very difficult to become peaceful. Then you have this tower of energy, so you'll be able to say no, And then the last one is the power of goodness, Then sometimes you can reflect on that. You come here, and that's why it's important. Even though, yes, I know some people that say, I'm on retreat, I don't want to do anything, I only want to meditate. But you involve is help with the kitchen cleaning. Sometimes a little bit of work is good. You feel good. You feel that at least I contribute something. At least I have to do something. Actually, sometimes when you do work itself also is a form of meditation. Like when I was Anakarkas, I enjoy in the morning by myself, prepare breakfast, because it's so peaceful, so quiet. I'm just fully focused on what I'm doing. And then what I'm doing right now is my object. That's why people tell me, oh, how come, you're busy, I just came back from New Zealand, and then because of traveling, the different hours, the 4 hours different, and I straight back, and then still lots of things waiting for me, and I have to sort things out before I come for this retreat. That's why my immunity go down. Then because then I have allergy, then I become more hypersensitive. I'm very sensitive to smell. I can't help it, because I have to breathe. I breathe in, and it's normally things that I'm okay, but it just cause me a little bit of cough. I'm okay. Sometimes if I feel itchy, my throat itchy, I take antihistamine, it's okay. Then because my immune system go down, and then I become more hypersensitive. That's why I have this. People thought that I'm having cold. I'm not having cold. It's my allergy, because it causes my allergy is always causes my throat, because of the drip, and then eventually sometimes if I strain my voice too much, so then I will lose my voice. Because when I was in New Zealand, I was talking whole day. That's why you see those become, when you look at most of the airport, all the get fat, isn't it? Because you're sitting so much, you don't talk. You only talking. You only exercise your mouth. You don't exercise your body. Talk, sitting there. I remember after my dana, I just above want to get out. To have a break. Someone come in and talk to me, I sit back. And then you see, you also have a good bladder, sit back. And then continue talk. Sometimes also it's very difficult to say no, because some of them, like, they come all the way, and then it's very you can't say no. And then I know that I'm only there for a week. So then people come here, then I go back and talk, and because whatever I do, I told them, I just rise to the occasion. I don't think so much. Because sometimes people drain so much energy by thinking about it, I just, to me, like, sometimes people think that, oh, you sacrifice a lot. To me, I don't see it as a sacrifice. I take it as an opportunity to give. This is my opportunity to give. To me, it's a giving. To me, it's not a sacrifice, That's why it's important, your attitude, your mentality. So it's important that you think of, how can I give, how can I contribute? Sometimes you also feel, sometimes also inspired. Sometimes, come from our own inspiration. I remember someone come and I was thinking, the other day, okay, today I have only afternoon, morning I can have a bit of break. And then someone turns up, come to speak to me. And then this person from America, but he's in New Zealand. And then he drove 3 hours, to get, so that because I got a morning break, so I might only start 11 o'clock till 6 o'clock. That is my, that's all the program. Then the lady to assist me said, someone to speak to you. I said, okay. But then you feel good. Because afterwards also I feel good because that the person feels so grateful and really thank me that it's helped me a lot and clear all my doubts and things like that, because this person also going through difficulties, and then sometimes she feel good when she talk to someone, then at least I can contribute, at least I can help, that is, the goodness, you help someone, the power, power of goodness. So sometimes, that's why sometimes you contribute, you give, and also sometimes actually while you're doing, whatever chore you are doing, that is your meditation object. If you're fully with what you are doing, you practice present moment awareness. Actually, people said that, I'm busy working, I have no time to practice. I said, whatever you do, whether, you fully focus, you're fully aware, fully present with whatever you do. I said, because people it's too much energy, thinking, worrying about things, and feeding that, because when you're not mindful, and then you be able to do it, and you become more efficient and actually less tired. That's why people ask me, how come you have so much energy? Because I said, I never waste my energy into worrying about things, thinking about things. I said, whatever I do, I just, okay, this is my meditation object. Whatever you do, even you're doing dishes is a meditation object. Sweeping, the movement, you focus on your movement, that is a meditation object. Actually, sometimes people try too hard sitting on the cushion. Sometimes can be counterproductive. Sometimes you move a little bit and then give you a bit of joy. I know people come to the monastery and stay, and sometimes normally we have someone being roster, so you have not roster, so you don't have to come out to perform your duties. And then people come to me, give me some job to do. I have one of my lay guests. She said that she find it that, then I said, okay, you can do sweeping at the stupa. Then she told me she feel good that when she come up to sweep, give her some happiness that, I've contributed, I'm sweeping. Then she said she sit better than she have all the time, no need to work. She said when she no need to work, she try very hard to sit. She find this more difficult. But then she said, morning, then she said that it's very good, and she feel that at least you move your body, you exercise your muscles, And then she said, if you do it quietly, but not like, I know I see people that doing what they're talking, then you are not fully, present. You're talking, then you're more tired, isn't it? Your mind is all over the place. So I said, no problem with working. See how your attitude, how you towards your work, If you do it wholeheartedly, whatever you do, give it all you got, 100%. Actually, you feel good, and also you feel you have more energy from doing something, do some service giving. Actually, many people don't know that actually the happiest person is not the receiving end, it's the one who gave. Actually, the more you give, actually you feel happy. The happier you feel happy, and that also support your meditation. It's not that it's not that force yourself, keep meditating, and actually getting nowhere, because using so much willpower, too controlling, and they become counterproductive. It's come from the stages of meditation that you want to attain certain stages of meditation. It's come from letting go. The more you be to let go, the more you're at ease and at peace. Because things that you're holding on, you crave, then you're very difficult to become peaceful. So that's it's helped you. The Buddha said, when someone possesses four these powers, so you will leave behind fivefold fear. You don't have the fear of your livelihood, because you have this kind of attitude, you have this wisdom, you have this energy. You definitely will do well. Don't have to worry about your livelihood. Sometimes people not do well, they tend to blame the whole world, isn't it? Blame because of other or complaining, because they never look into themselves. Why causes, why leading to this, then we are part. People don't see that they are part of that. They keep thinking that, maybe I've been treated unfairly and then not fair to me. That's why I'm not doing well in my job because of everybody's fault. Complaining and blaming everyone else, and also never be grateful even And Buddha says, if someone like that, they don't have this. People have always complaining all the time, blaming all the time, and never be grateful at all. You will never success at anything. You will not be successful in anything. So that's why you have that. Naturally, you have this four power, isn't it? Naturally, you do well. Whatever you do well. In a career, whatever you do, whatever job that you undertaken, you will do well. So you don't have to worry about livelihood, and then you don't have to worry about being defamed. People being defamed, that being criticized, being embarrassed, because you have a good conduct, you have the virtue, because the power of virtue, and you're a good person, and then you don't have to worry about that, and also you don't have to be worried. Sorry. And then you don't have to worry about defame and then your livelihood, and then excuse me. And then also you don't have to be to worry about you being treated, to being embarrassed in someone. And then the fourth one is that you don't have to worry about you don't have fear in death. When you're facing death and someone have this power, you feel good, because because you know that you will be definitely going to a good destination. There is no fear of future destination. You don't have this fear of being defamed, being embarrassed, and because and then being a fear of facing death. Because when you're someone like that, you will be, if someone is very peaceful, and naturally when you face death, that is, you become more at ease and at peace whatever you face. That's why it's so important that if you practice present moment awareness throughout whatever you do, and this is how you train your mind. Whatever comes out, you learn, okay, just make peace, at ease and at peace in every situation and any moment that you're in. Then when the moment comes that you have to face, and because it's like a default setting, you've been trained, naturally you will deal with the situation the same. Because most of our last minute that we face is mostly habitual. So habit is very difficult, because a habit like default setting. So like I know someone asked me, what kind of meditation that should we do? if someone facing death, I think you think last moment you can think, oh, I'm going to die now. Oh, I have to think, what meditation that I do. I say you can't. It comes, you will not have, you will not sit there, wait for a moment. Let me think what I'm going to do, what meditation I'm going to do to face this moment. No, there's no time for you for that. It's all mostly come from your habit. So you make it a very, very strong habit. That is, you naturally, have kind thoughts, because this is, you condition your mind. And it becomes it's just your nature. It becomes your nature. Then I say you don't have to worry about that, There's no any meditations that, you do, okay, now I'm going to die. I better sit in meditation, okay, basic. You can't. That's why this is throughout your practice to make it a habit, whatever you do. So always, it's okay. Sometimes your mind wander off. It's fine. You bring your mind back to present moment. Just fully with what you are doing in this moment. If you're doing dishes, you're fully with the dishes. How many people can do that, isn't it? When you're here doing dishes, our mind is thinking of the what are we going to eat next meal, a dinner, even we go to dinner, even think of next day what we want to eat, isn't it? Our mind already goes so far. Actually, physically we are here, but our mind is not here. Our mind is gone. Our mind gone to Siberia, and also we don't know how we get there very far. I remember there was some question asked. These questions asked. If I'm not wrong, I think that this question asked was this I forgot what's the meditation master. So he asked, so talk about rebirth. So how some people, they're in Australia, then they're reborn in UK or in Europe. You think you have. And then this master asked him, okay, now close your eyes, you think of England. You're there, isn't it? You think you still, they think they're reborn, you think that you have to fly over there to reborn. No, the moment we think, we are there, isn't it? For example, if you are here, you're still thinking of your family, so you're not here. You're still at home. Or you bring your whole family here, isn't it? So that is, that is either your mind is there. They say not fully here. So you train your mind, folks. Always put into practice. It's not only people think that Dharma. The practice is that I only read Dharma books, listen to the talks, and sit in meditation. Then I'm practicing. But how you live your life, a life of goodness, someone being kind, being of service, being helpful, being compassionate. And it's naturally, someone's kind and compassionate, then naturally someone is wise. Someone is wise, naturally is kind and compassionate. And this is come with it, And naturally you are peaceful. Even someone peaceful, they're naturally kind, naturally wise, and it's important how you live your life. It's not like the whole afternoon and then, you just rushing one thing from another thing and then being very selfish, and then you think you sit down, you can just meditate. You can't. That is part of it, No matter how many Dharma talks you listen, if you still will not help you, But of course, if throughout the day, if you practice present moment awareness, it's okay. So do a little bit of work. Actually, it's part of your contribution, being of service. That's why you have to have the balance. Like, of course, we are not like spend too much time busy, but then also have the time for ourselves. Have to have the balance. So that's why it's also important that to have the faith, to have the understanding, wisdom within ourselves to start off with. So because without that, sometimes it's very difficult to meditate. And then lots of people keep focusing that, maybe I'm not peaceful, maybe I don't sit long enough. If I sit long enough, then I'll become peaceful. And then most people don't know. Actually, the harder you try, the worse. And then it ended up that I've seen people that ended up that just don't like to meditate. They say, why I want to meditate? Because I suffer more when I meditate. Because they're forcing themselves. They said, because enlightenment is a natural process. It's a cause and effect. It's not, if we all can use willpower, to do it. Everybody, we do not need to practice anymore. Those who have the most willpower will get enlightened first. You can't, isn't it? They said sometimes you have to they said the first day why I talk about faith, and they said never underestimate how powerful, that you have the confidence, and then also you have to understand where's the confidence come from ourselves, and then that the confidence, then they say sometimes people think that the confidence, if the confidence come from the ego, come from the sense of self, that is not the kind of confidence, like the Buddha talk about the three conceits, I'm better, I'm as good, I'm worse. When you think that I'm better, then normally people think that they're better, they have big ego. They will not listen, they will think that they know best, then it's become overconfidence. And sometimes people overconfidence, they don't listen, and they don't listen to advice, they think that they know best, then you never learn, it's a fool. And then the one you think that you're as good, and normally people have this kind of mentality, then they always want to compete. I'm as good. Competition, keep competing, and that's and also it's very easily give rise to jealousy. Always jealous. How come this person get it? I'm also as good. How come I can't get it? I can't get it. It's really not fair because I can't get it. That's why I said fairness also is subjective, isn't it? When it's not in your favor, it's not fair. When it's in your favor, it's fair, isn't it? When things go your way, it's really fair. When things don't go your way, unfair, it's not fair. How come I can't get it? Other people can get it. It always gives rise to jealousy, competing all the time. The other one, they said this kind of, when we talk about the confidence, is not come with the sense of self, not come with the ego. It come with wisdom. Not come from the sense of self. And the last one, of course, you think that, I'm worse, good for nothing, Then you have low self-esteem. So whatever you do, you will never think that you are good enough, never good enough. I've seen people, very talented people have very low self-esteem, because they've been told that they're not good enough. That's why it's also important that we really have because it's important that we love ourselves, to learn to appreciate ourselves. Sometimes many people, they tend not to appreciate themselves, always don't think that they're good enough. I don't deserve it. So then it also affects your confidence in yourself, the confidence in whatever you do, because part of also, because come from the low self-esteem, that is also, the three conceits is also ego, come from the sense of self, and that also stops you, from, when if the confidence come from your own goodness, your own virtue, your own behavior, and then your own effort, you appreciate even your own effort, appreciate that. I remember someone said to me that why I find it very difficult to have to be able to appreciate others. Then I told her, because you have to first learn to appreciate yourself. Because when you learn to appreciate yourself, I say naturally you will appreciate others. You have it. Actually, the practice starts from within. To have those, to develop those qualities, to really appreciate our own, effort, our own goodness. So the fact that you have the opportunity to come here to practice, that is come from all your good karma, from your previous, life is some people, born in a place that don't even hear the words Buddha, don't even have the opportunity to practice, or some people don't even earn enough to live, let alone to practice. That because of your good karma, that when you're here, so you appreciate that, this is a good karma bring you here, and to appreciate that, then you have confidence in yourself, that not to think that I'm not good enough, So if you don't have confidence, it's very difficult, because that's why the Buddha says this is the first spiritual faculties. This is the spiritual qualities you need. That's why you need to develop those spiritual qualities to support your meditation. It's not by forcing yourself to sit how long. It won't happen. Things happen according to multiple causes and conditions. You have to put in the causes and conditions. Things will happen by itself. You don't have to worry. Once you put in the causes and conditions, it happens by itself. It's just like the sequence of, that like when you reflect the power of virtue. The virtue is naturally lead you to peace and calm and stillness, and then when you have the stillness, you have the wisdom. It comes naturally, cause and effect. When you have it happen by itself, but it's not by using your willpower and to try to make things happen. Even you can't make things happen. If we all can make things happen, we all get enlightened long ago, isn't it? And then even you don't even have to do the practice. All you need to do to use willpower. But most people don't know that actually become counterproductive. There's like so this morning talk, there's a faith, confidence, and hope that the first day, now I hope all of you full of confidence in yourself that okay, I can meditate now. Isn't it? Have all of you enough confidence in yourself to meditate? I hope you have. Okay, thank you for listening. So any questions or comments? Any questions or comments? No? Yes.
With respect to confidence, isn't that a product of your upbringing and behavioural experiences?
Yeah.
So, if you're in that situation, what's the best strategy to change your perception of the experiences you've had in the past so as to produce better confidence in the future?
Okay, because we've been conditioned, and then it's just like, when we've been conditioned, we always repeat the same thing, and then you get the same results and go around and round and round. That's why you come back again and again. And that's why someone asked me this question. He said, if everything conditioned, how can I come out of it? Because I heard that, Ajahn Brahmali said, we didn't make our choice. We think that we're making our own choice, but actually we've been conditioned. Like, we bombarded by all this advertisement. This is good for you, brainwash, Then we think we make our choice, but actually it's not. We've been brainwashed. Then I said, yes, you can't. I said, you can't. Then he was thinking, I said, until you be able to see that. That's why, first of all, you have to practice present moment awareness, develop that throughout in your daily life, because we are not aware until you recognize, until you see that. Like, because sometimes we don't know we have certain habitual pattern that we're feeding our defilements, we're feeding because a certain personality defilement that is come from our conditioning. So we have to recondition. To recondition ourselves is that we have enough mindfulness, enough clarity to not to repeat the same thing. Be able to see that, okay, this pops out, okay, I'm not going to follow this, because you have to first of all be able to recognize that, what that causes you into that look like that you go in and again, causes us suffering, causes us problem. But first of all, you have to have enough clarity. With full awareness, be mindful of. You know that, okay. And then sometimes after you practice a while, you started to see when your mindfulness established, you develop more and more, your mindfulness becomes stronger and stronger. You started to see some of your own behavior. Oh, I will react to certain thing, you know. And then you know you have certain you start to see you have certain habitual pattern, how you feed it. That is very important, because when there is a contact, feeling arises, whether, you know, you like it or you dislike it, pleasant or unpleasant. And then it comes to likes and dislike. Then you were thinking about it, you know, and this is how it's all. But the moment, if you're mindful enough, you'll be able to see that, okay, the contact is there, and then pleasant feelings, then very easily you get attached, you get hooked. That is where you get hooked. And that is where the point you catch yourself not to get hooked. Once you get hooked, you repeat the cycle again. But if you stop not to hook in, that is where you're not feeding it. And that is not to repeat the things, you know, not again condition. Then you are not feeding, you're not reinforce your conditioning. Then, of course, each time you're aware of that, you're not following your old habitual pattern. You not get sucked in.
What do you do when the logic says that's bad for me,
okay,
but the emotion goes, I'll do it anyway?
Because your mindfulness is not strong enough. You have no power, the power to say no. Just like I mentioned the power of energy. The power said no. Because the reason why we still sucking, that means our mindfulness is not strong enough. Right now, mindfulness is strong enough. Actually, mindfulness is just like a sharp knife. When it is sharp, it cut off very quickly. But when it's not sharp, when you cut off, it's still tangling, you know. you still go in. That you need that really sharp mind to able to say no.
So what should be done
to
increase the sharpness of mindfulness?
Yes, that's right. To apply practice present moment awareness in your daily life, so you become more fully aware of what you are doing, why you do it, how you do it. Most people do things, it's just like they're doing it, then the mind is thinking other thing. This is how to improve your sharpness. You become very sharp in everything you do, and then also you become more efficient, and then also you have more energy because you don't waste. Because a lot of people whole life they waste energy into spending so much time worry about things that would happen or may not happen, may happen, and so stressed about all these things that especially out of control, start to worrying about if this happened, that happened. But who knows, isn't it? We also don't even know whether I'm still alive next moment. So it's practice present moment awareness, then actually build up your mental energy. When you have a loss of energy, how do you feel when you have a loss of energy? You feel sharp, isn't it? Your mind is sharp. When you have no energy, you don't feel sharp. Your mind is just blur, very blur. That's why that is important, and then you will do well, It's okay. Maybe at the beginning your mind wander off. It's fine. Whenever you catch yourself wander off, you just come back again and again. If you keep training that over a period of time, you become more and more, your mind become more and more sharp. And sometimes you'll be able to catch yourself, go away and come back. That's to that point. So when you have the sharpness, the clarity, you don't feed it. Then you don't repeat the same thing. So of course, for example, some people have very strong, they have ill will, and even though you don't feed it, doesn't mean that you have no anger anymore, because the underlying tendency is still there. It is when triggered, it comes out again. That's the underlying tendency. So then, because of each time you don't feed it, it won't go away immediately. It still comes out, but it's become less intense. It's just like I like to use a simile of a ball. You know, when you spin the ball, if we keep kicking the ball will keep spinning. Even we stop kicking, it still spins, isn't it? But if we continuously not kicking, the ball will stop by itself. The same thing with our conditioning. Our conditioning won't go away immediately, but over a period of time, we can see that certain emotion, that in certain situation, it tends to kick out. That maybe last time last longer, but now it lasts shorter, like, you know, and like now become more manageable. Maybe last time you already flick out, but now maybe okay, it's there, you know. Yes, the evil is there, the anger is still there, but it's not out of control. And this is how, you know, it takes time. You know, eventually it will stop. That's why not doing anything is more difficult than doing, because we've been conditioned. We try to get rid of it. Something that is unpleasant, we have to get rid of it. But getting rid of it, actually we reinforce. So that's why you have to. The only way to really not to follow our old habitual pattern is to develop your clarity. Your mind is sharp. You don't repeat that again, because the habit is so strong. You know, habit is like when we develop a certain habitual pattern, and the habit is so strong that it's like an addiction. You get addicted to it. You know that it's no good, but you still do it. You can't help it because you've been conditioned. That's why you have to recondition. So that's why it takes time. You know.
So my conditioning is to, and living in a Western culture. My conditioning is you've got to strive, you've got to work hard, you've got to achieve, bang, bang. So when you say that's not how to meditate, that's not how to get liberation, just sit back, relax and do nothing, that can actually be quite fearful for me.
Okay. Because I think a lot of people have misunderstanding of when we say let go. It's not couldn't care less. But for me, I have my duty to do, I do it. I have my responsibility. I fully do it with full intention. But not with the kind of unwholesome state of mind, because I want to get, you know, I follow our craving, then we do something that is harming others, harming ourselves. Yes, we talk about the way we talk about it, letting go is letting go of that kind of unwholesome qualities. You know, but we all have a duties to go. For example, people say, let go, then they couldn't care less. Or like Ajahn said, one of his disciples, then he went past his kuti, and then the roof have a big hole, and then he just sit next to it, and then raining, he still sit next to it. He said, why don't you fix the hole? Because I let go. No, we still have to work. But then how we relate to the situation is not what we do. It's our attitude towards what we do. Do we relate with the situation with kindness, compassion, or with the ill will to increase those unwholesome quality? Because it's those unwholesome quality causes us suffering. It's not what we do causes us suffering. Of course, like for me, I still have to plan. You know, like I have to plan my trip, you know. And initially this retreat is not actually, I have to move forward because there's something changes. I have after this, I finish end of 15, 17, I have to go to Malaysia for the next retreat, you know. And it's just come from, I'm busy. But then to me, like, because for me, because myself is a volunteer job, I don't get paid, but I'm happily doing it. You know, it's not that. But when we said doing nothing, yeah, physically you can do nothing, but your mind is very busy. But if you're physically doing things, but your mind is not busy, your mind is fully here. You know, there's a lot of people that have the misunderstanding of what we said, doing nothing. Yeah, it's not about physically doing nothing. It's about, our suffering is come from our mental part. Yeah, that causes the suffering. It's not what we do. It's not what we do. It's how our attitude towards what we do, how we relate to the situation. It's not what the situation that we have to face give us the problem, give us suffering. It's how we relate to the. It's not the problem causes suffering. It's how we deal with the situation causes suffering. So, you understand? Is it?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Yes.
In the do no harm, I'm very conscious that living in the culture I live in, even if I'm not doing harm directly, everything I touch has done harm somewhere. And yet living completely differently, I don't know how I do that, and I have a husband and son who probably wouldn't be very grateful.
Yeah.
How do I deal with that?
Okay. First of all, when we do not doing harm, it's more come from the intentionally, because that's why this is not an easy solution, because we be in the cycle of rebirth in this samsara, and then that is part of, like, it's a part of the package, and we, to some extent, because our living, it will, is unavoidable, that is to a certain extent, that is on the expense of others. But then it's very important that your intention, you're intentionally killing it or harming it, but the intention is not there. So they said this is the only way. They said, the Buddha said, lots of people say, oh, I have no suffering, I might pay. But that is the Buddha refer to the suffering, whether you like it or not. It's part of living this life. That's why the Buddha said it's the only way, if you want to really, free of that is not to be reborn, not to become back. It's part of that. But then what we do, we really make sure that we are not consciously, intentionally harming others. But because it's part of this, but we do our best. And then kindness, being kind, helpful, and it's just being part of in this cycle of rebirth. That's why if you want the solution, the best solution is not to be reborn. That is the solution. To a certain extent, is sometimes truly, sometimes we put in the situation that no-win situation, whatever you do is not right. That's why the Buddha said it's suffering. But lots of people don't see that. There's some people even said that I'm really depressed when I listen to Buddha's talk about the suffering. But actually, the Buddha's talk about suffering is not that you have to suffer. It's to understand why we suffer. So if you understand the suffering, Buddha said have to be fully understood. When there's suffering, then you suffer less. You don't repeat, you don't do things that harming yourself. But sometimes people focusing not harming others and then harm themselves so much. Because kindness also, we have to include ourselves. You said to answer your questions? Make sense? Yeah, because this is part of a whole package. But then actually, it's for us. For example, we have rules as a bhikkhuni, like the first, we call it a defeat offense. If you commit that offense, then you're no longer a monk or a nun. So that is like, first is killing. But the killing, what is considered killing? Killing, you have to complete the whole process. First of all, you have to have the person, like the monk or the nun, the person who doing it. You have to have the intention, and then you have to perform the act, and then the act is complete. You have to kill the person, and then at the results of that, the person died. Then this complete, that is killing. But then if you have the intention, but you didn't do it, and then, but sometimes, you accidentally step on certain, I don't see it. Like sometimes you get up, millipede come in. Sometimes I say, oh, sorry, I'm sorry about that. But of course, if this because not intention at all, the intention is not there. So the killing is not complete. This is when we study our rules Vinaya, what we call that killing, you have to complete. You have the person have doing it. You have to have the object that who is going to kill, and you have the intention has to be there, and the actions already carried out, and then at the result of the action, this person died, and then killing complete. So that's like, yes, we accidentally step on millipedes, and that is the killing is not complete because the intention is not there. So is it make sense to you? Does that answer your question? Is there any more questions or comments? So no more questions, comment, and we can sit to. I think our Dana is 11 o'clock. So yeah, it's those who want to continue to sit, and then or you want to do some walking meditation and come back to sit. Then lunchtime will be 11. Yeah, you can know the time you practice walking, sitting meditation, or you want to rest, or you want to take a break and have a cup of coffee and sit out there, relax, chill out, it's okay. Or you come back and sit again and take it easy. Sometimes you take it easy, your meditation is better. Don't try too hard, okay? But then if you need to work, you're still hard working, okay? So you need to work. I put some